I don't want to sound like rude or, I don't want this to be misconstrued. However, I feel like that the whole plastic surgery thing we got going on right now is kind of just a smidgen, just a little bit getting out of hand. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Zhariya Smith, and I typically post commentary videos just like this one, so if you happen to like that or my gorgeous face, you can go ahead and subscribe down below. I post every single Wednesday, so if you want to, check on me or whatever, I'll be posting every single Wednesday now. And also a thing that I do on my channel is I tell you guys what candle I currently am burning, which is peach nectar. Now, if you've been a subscriber of my channel, then you know I have one that's called Southern Peach Tea. This one, it smells very similar, but a little bit more like sweet. And also, if you hear cats meowing, ignore them. They've been harassing me all week. I don't know why. It's also pouring down rain right now, like not Hurricane Elsa pouring down rain, but it's like pouring. So that's fun, funky, and fresh. And intros aside, let's get into the topic of today's video. Roll title card. So, hi. I want to talk about basically how social media has changed plastic surgery. And before you guys say anything, I feel like you've made this video before. A year ago, I talked about how influencers promote plastic surgery, but I did not talk about how social media in general has, oh my God. This is a great production value we'd have. I just dropped my microphone on the floor, but I haven't talked about how social media in general has changed plastic surgery and beauty image and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to chat about today. I'm going to do this video in 4 sections. First, I'm going to talk about the beginning of plastic surgery and social media, or in just the general media in general. Next session, I'm going to be talking about the rise of Snapchat surgeons, which, I feel like if you know, you know. And then the third section, I'm going to talk about the BBL epidemic, which could be its own video in itself, but I'm adding it to this. And then I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on plastic surgery as a whole, and that is the thing. So we're going to get into the beginning. So, I've said this before, but I feel like the first big introduction to plastic surgery, aside from in ancient Egyptian times, was Botched, which was a TV show that premiered in 2014, which, remember 2014? If you don't, I have a video on it. Love promoting myself. But Botched was a TV show that currently it's about to get 7 seasons. It just got renewed for a new season, and it should be airing in 2021, so it should be coming out anytime soon now. And the show I'm hitting everything. The show basically was, that kind of highlighted the office that Dr. Terry Dubrow and Paul Nassif had. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Terry Dubrow is married to a Real Housewife. I could be wrong. I'll fact check that later. But it was a really good show. I love it. I'm entertained by it. I will watch it every now and then on E if I happen to be scrolling through. But that show honestly was just a show that basically was showing hey, plastic surgery is very common, but also it's very common to get botched, which is basically saying oh, your plastic surgery did not go well. It did not turn out well. The results horrible. So they go to Dr. Terry Dubrow and Paul Nassif, and Nassif was mostly with the nose surgeries, if I remember correctly. But they would fix, messed up breast augmentations, messed up nose jobs, tummy tucks, liposuction, all the glitz and glam of plastic surgery. And I do think that it is interesting, Botched in general. Also, I want to mention really quickly that I do have a video that I did post, like I mentioned before, about how plastic surgery, or is it okay for influencers to promote plastic surgery? And I did kind of dive deep into this, and generally I still stand by that video. I have no issues with the person getting plastic surgery. My issue is when a person is getting plastic surgery and then either lying and say that they haven't gotten any plastic surgery. There are some people who say they haven't had plastic surgery, but like they clearly have, and like deny it to this day. But then you get Madison Beer caught outside of a plastic well, I think it was like lip injections place, you know, which is a little bit different than plastic surgery. It's kind of like a cosmetic thing. But all that to say is I think that if you are getting plastic surgery, there's no issue with that. I love watching plastic surgery vlogs, TikToks, recovery videos. It is so interesting to me. And when I was younger, I wanted to be a plastic surgeon. Well, really, I wanted to be a pediatric neurosurgeon. However, we can see where I am today. So clearly I did not fall down that path. But surgery's always been interesting to me. And I think genuinely, like, do what you want with your body, but also don't lie. Don't say like, hey, I didn't get a nose job when you've gotten like 3. You know, if you're gonna get a nose job, at least be upfront about it. Honestly. Next section, which the first section was kind of short, but next section we're gonna be talking about the rise of Snapchat surgeon. So if you guys don't know, Snapchat is a social media platform where you post pictures, videos, you can send chat messages, and basically they last 24 hours. Or there are ways you can like make them last longer, but for the sake of this, and a good function of Snapchat is their stories. And I feel like in like 2016, maybe I could have been younger, but I discovered Snapchat surgeons. Basically, these surgeons would post videos of themselves doing surgery. You would see titties, vaginas. You would see people's like open, like when they do like the tummy tucks and they'll cut open their stomach and they'll show you the lining of their stomach. Like it's very gory, very bloody, very gross. However, I was interested in that stuff, so I watched it because I like the education part of it. I like seeing the before and after. Like I love that stuff. So the first Snapchat surgeon that I want to mention today, which is probably the most popular one, as there literally is a song that mentions him, and that is Dr. Miami, or better wise known as Dr. Michael Salz. I can't pronounce his last name, and I'm not even going to try to because I feel like that's really offensive, but he is a celebrity doctor, and he does plastic surgery. He's active on social media, and his little title is Dr. Miami because his practice is in Miami-Dade County, so you know, Miami vibes. I live in Florida, love Miami, but his surgery practice is actually in Bay Harbor Islands, which is like a little town in Miami-Dade County, so it's not technically like Miami, but it's Miami, you know. And he runs his practice himself. He's recorded a song, he's been on reality TV, and he has written a children's book, which I found out actually yesterday, so you know, that's cool, funky, and fresh. He opened his own practice in 2003, so he's been doing this plastic surgery thing, you know, for quite a while, almost as long as I've been alive. So the man's done a lot, and I think that what's interesting about Dr. Miami is that I feel like, and I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, comment down below in the comment section, but please don't be mean because I am quite sensitive. But Dr. Miami was kind of like, I feel like the trailblazer when it came to Snapchat surgeons, because I feel like I followed Dr. Miami, and then I started following a bunch of other Snapchat surgeons, and then Dr. Pimple Popper, and so many other just like people on Snapchat, and then Dr. Pimple Popper actually has her own TV show now, which is honestly amazing. Shout out to her. But I feel like Dr. Miami truly opened the door for using social media to show your plastic surgeries and your practices and whatnot. Next, which is the other doctor that I actually still follow on Snapchat to this day. And honestly, I go on Snapchat to literally just look at like the like Beauty Insider like little clips. I barely ever actually use Snapchat for like Snapchat just like purpose. But next is Dr. Adam Oppenheimer, who his handle is just like the real Dr. OPP. That's like his handle on Snapchat if you want to, I don't know, follow him. He practices in Orlando, and that was kind of why I followed him, because I saw like, oh, he's in Orlando. I live in Florida. And I used to really, really, really want to get a boob job. However, God or whoever happened to grace me with making me grow 2 cup sizes. Not overnight by any means, but randomly. I'm not going to say it's because of my COVID vaccine. But yeah. So now I no longer desire a boob job. I do kind of want, if I were to get any plastic surgery or anything, I would get injections underneath my eyes, because my entire life I've had like natural like eye bags, kind of like Emma Chamberlain. They have like sunken in. I will have 10 hours of sleep and I'll still look like I'm tired. I look like a Tim Burton character, but Tim Burton doesn't do black people, so you know, it's the other thing. But I would get rid of that. I also kind of want a nose job, but I have a black nose, so I feel like kind of keeping it because I like to keep my black identity. But I was obsessed with him, and I was like, oh, I want him to give me a boob job. He also weirdly practices, well, not weirdly, but it's very interesting, which is a term and like a surgery that I didn't even know existed until following him, and that is a labiaplasty, which is basically where like people will get like their vagines snipped up a little bit, because sometimes people like, because some people don't like how their vagine looks, so they want it to look different, so they go to, and that's what it's called, a labiaplasty. It's pretty cool. He also does breast augmentations and tummy tucks. He also does liposuction, and that's, you know, whatever, but I like him. He's like nice, and I actually like his videos. They're like a lot more educational than like Dr. Miami sometimes, I feel like. But wow, it's nice for people to be like, oh, I see this one surgeon on social media, so I'm gonna follow them and I'm gonna get surgery from them. It's kind of the same essence of, you have a tattoo artist. You see a tattoo artist on Instagram, you're like, you know what, I like their tattoos, I'm gonna go get tattooed by them. I get the vibe, I understand it, but I also want people to know that they need to do research. Good research. If you're gonna be paying like $10,000 on a procedure, maybe, just maybe, make sure the person is like good. Make sure they have good reviews, because Dr. Miami actually, like, I was looking through my like research or whatever, and I saw that he's actually like, I don't want to say botched people, but people have been very upset with how their bodies have turned out after getting surgery from Dr. Miami or any other of those Snapchat or social media surgeons in general. They've been like upset by them, and it's like, oh, they only have a close call because they're like celebrity doctors or whatever, which I find very interesting. I know that in my other video I mentioned a doctor who she's called Joanna the nurse, which I'm still confused about. Like, is she a doctor or is she a nurse? She's giving lip injections. Is she a PA? I don't know. But she was giving lip injections and face filler to like influencers, and then basically paying them, or they basically were like, I'll give you a free filler if you promote my practice. Which, you know, I get it, but also you have to understand, like, if you're promoting that to your fans, how many of your fans can afford to get a face full of fillers? How many of your fans can afford to get a boob job? You know, probably not a lot. It's pretty expensive surgery. Plastic surgery is very expensive. But yeah, and also quickly I want to mention, ow, I hit my book. Quickly I want to mention, on my YouTube channel, I did on my community page, I should say. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, because I always ask my people on my community page questions for video ideas and, you know, all that stuff. So if you want to follow me, I don't know, do that. If not, I don't really care either way. But I asked my subscribers, do you guys watch or follow doctors with plastic surgeons on social media, like Dr. Miami or Dr. Mike? Now, I'm not going to be mentioning Dr. Mike in this video because I'm honestly kind of like, I question him as a person, because even though, like, you know, the whole panoramic we're currently in, he decided to not care about that and go to Miami and be like on a boat and like be maskless with like a bunch of people for like his birthday party, or like maybe someone else's birthday party. I don't remember, but I do know that as a doctor, a licensed doctor, he decided to ignore a deadly disease. So, you know, to each their own. But either way, I asked that, and 22% of you guys said yes, as me, I'm recording this video, and 70% of you guys said no, and 8% said, what are you talking about? Which I feel like is really interesting, because I'm obsessed with medical stuff. It interests me literally so much, and it's really interesting to me that a lot of you guys actually don't watch plastic surgeons on social media, and I wrote a few comments which I want to kind of get into. This is the culprit for harassing me while I'm filming. Say hello to the camera, Bronx. He's actually my favorite cat out of the cats that we have, because he doesn't try to murder me. And now Sedona's coming in as well. The one person said, after all the drama with Dr. Mike last year, I lost the hope in medical professions, at least on YouTube, which I get, honestly. One person said the only doctor they follow is Dr. Romani Durvolsa, who's a psychiatrist. Which, this video isn't about psychiatry or regular doctors, which, you know, pretty cool though. One person said they only follow Dr. Hope's sick notes, and the person said they didn't know any plastic surgeons. Another person said Dr. Tracy Marks is good, who also, I believe, she does like, I feel like she does like plastic surgery or something. She does like mental health stuff too. Some people said they used to follow Dr.Miami, not anymore. Dermatologist, which is Dr. Mama Jones. And yeah, either way, that's pretty much it for the Snapchat surgeries. I think it's really interesting that you can share your practice on social media and you can share your surgeries, and that's like, okay. It is just quite interesting to me. Next section, I want to talk about the BBL epidemic. Now, before you guys say anything, I actually was going to film a video on the BBL epidemic. Literally, like, I had my notes, I was going to film it, and then Miss Madison Brown, who we love her on this channel, she posted a video about it and had the exact same title. And I know, obviously no one's copying anybody, but it was very funny. So I decided to halt this video and posted my video on Shower Talk instead. And then I was like, I'm going to make my video on BBLs again. And then It's Keisha posted a video on BBLs as well. And I'm like, crap. And then now I'm seeing all these videos about BBLs, and I don't want to seem like a person who is just making a video for clout purposes or to gain views off of other people. It just happened that way. So I'm going to talk about it, but I'm only going to do a brief section in this video because that's not the main point. But BBLs. BBLs are a cosmetic surgery that's called BBL because it's a Brazilian butt lift. It's basically where fat is transferred. So let's say, for instance, you have really bad like love handles. Well, not bad, but like you have like really big love handles. You kind of get the fat sucked out of there. You put it in your butt, and it's like a whole thing. By using the body's own fat, it kind of like reduces infection because you don't want to use fat from somebody else, because that's kind of like also like really gross and unsanitary. But it has become very popular. I would argue BBLs have become the new lip filler, to be honest. Which is really sad because BBLs are literally very, very high risk. Like, you are risking your life. There is a really rough like survival rate when it comes to BBLs. Not risks that I personally want to take. And what sparked my interest in making a video on BBLs in the first place was because a person with a Twitter account at Muva of Gotti showed a Twitter thread where she showed basically the she was on a flight from the Dominican Republic to Atlanta and noticed that there were it's hard to know the amount of people, but I'd say between 20 to 30 people were all Black women that were all in wheelchairs from after having a BBL surgery, which is interesting. And we can also unpack the fact that they were all Black, whereas the whole BBL thing in the first place is, I talk about it in my video, I believe, on the gentrification of Black culture, but it is kind of trying to make yourself look more, I don't want to say, let's say ethnic, let's say light-skinned vibes. You catch my drift? Whenever I mention blackfishing, somebody gets mad at me, but it's kind of like that. So it's very interesting to me that Black people are now getting BBLs because they feel like they have to look like that. It's very sad and like scary. Also to risk your body like that. But plenty of YouTubers have been sharing their BBL experiences. One in particular that I really enjoyed was Stella Rae, because mostly she was already very small to begin with, but she got one kind of to reshape her body and she loves it, and I'm happy for her, honestly. But there are people who get BBLs and it doesn't even look remotely like a human being's body. And we can also make the argument that Fashion Nova is literally horrible when it comes to BBLs. I believe Cardi B got a BBL and she had surgery complications, so she couldn't do like a, whatever. I know people say Khloe Kardashian has had a BBL, Kim Kardashian has had a BBL. Well, the Kardashians in general have had BBLs because their bodies, look a little different than I would expect a typical Armenian woman to look. And it's just quite interesting to me, the issues when it comes to BBLs. It's like a hard thing because it's like, on one hand, why are women so like adamant and looking like this beauty standard that's gonna quite literally go out in 10 years, maybe even 5 years? It's kind of scary because like trends come and go and that means that you're doing something to your body and that's gonna make it last forever. Or in some cases, people get BBLs and They don't upkeep their bodies, they don't work out, they don't do the things you're supposed to do, and then they end up looking like botched or like horrible because they didn't follow like what you're supposed to do. Like, it's not just more than just getting a surgery. You can get a full liposuction and or the gastric bypass or whatever, and you can still end up gaining 300 pounds after getting it. It's keeping up your body, and some people don't want to do that. They think they can get a BBL, and then suddenly their life's going to be so much better. Then they realize that it's impossible to buy clothes, specifically pants, and life is just difficult. You get sexualized a lot more for your body, which, you know, I hate that. But it's just interesting to think about. Please, no one sue me. No one sue me. No one fight me. No one go in the comments and tell me that I'm stupid. It's just something to think about. And I encourage critical thinking on my channel. Like, do not just listen to me and think that that's like the cats are messing with my curtains. Don't listen to me and think that you have to follow what I say because I'm me. Formulate your own opinions. I'm just telling you mine. So, you know, bestie vibes only. There also has been a weird term where people have tried to find leggings that give the BBL effect. People have tried to, there's also a thing called BBL girls, where like there have been guys, specifically black men, making fun of black women for getting BBLs. I mean, I can make a whole video on black and white men making fun of black or ghetto women for content. I feel like I already made a video on that, but I honestly could make another one because it just gets out of hand these days. But yeah, BBLs. Get one if you really want to, but if you feel like you're getting it just to go by a beauty standard, don't get one. It is not worth risking your literal life just to look slim thick. And I know obviously you can't just work out and get a BBL effect because that's not how bodies work. If your body has flat placement, that's just where it goes. You can't kind of get rid of that. But like, I feel like just, you know, just think about it, you know, marinate on it, because you're spending a lot of money. I have been talking for way too long, so I'm just going to give you guys final section, my final thoughts. Now, plastic surgery is something that has been around since Egypt. It is something that has always been around. It's never going to go away. But I do think that it's important to be mindful of what you're doing to your body, because I feel like it's very important to know the risks that come with it. Like, for instance, YouTuber Simply Nessa, who just had a baby, and honestly, congratulations, girl. So happy for you. But Simply Nessa 15, she recently, well, not recently, like about a year ago, got a boob job. In my old video, I talked about how she got a boob job and how she chronicled that. And what I didn't mention, or I feel like it wasn't mentioned at the time, she actually got them explanted because she got sickness from getting, because, you know, your body sometimes rejects foreign objects. Her body was one of those bodies that did that, and she had to get the boobs taken out, despite spending like thousands of dollars on getting it put in, and she had to spend more thousands of dollars of getting it taken out. I'm happy for her, honestly. I support doing good things for your body, but it's something to think about. People get your body can reject lip fillers and it'll dissolve in like a week. Your body can reject, you know, getting butt implants or boob jobs. Your body can reject that stuff, and you have to think about, like, is it worth it, like, genuinely? And I'm an advocate for plastic surgery. I'm an advocate for doing whatever you want to your body, because it's your body, not my body. Do whatever you want with it. But I do think it's important to think, like, critically and be like, maybe I should sit on this. Like, maybe think, like, if I want this, I'll save up for it for like a year and then decide if you still want it after that. And if not, hey, you get a down payment on a house. So, you know, it's a win-win situation. But it's just, you know, something to think about, I guess. That's my video. I ramble a lot, as you can tell, but yeah, so if you happen to like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, because it actually helps my channels like mine. Thank you literally so much for watching the video over this far. If you did, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and whenever you do stuff like that, YouTube's like, oh, this girl knows what she's talking about, or this girl is like worth watching or worth supporting. So I do greatly appreciate you guys watching this far and supporting me. Like the video, because YouTube also will be like, oh, if you like the video, it must be a good video, and then push it out to more people. And also subscribe, because I really, and I've been kind of, so if you guys don't know, a year ago on my birthday, I hit 400 subscribers, which might be like, wow, you've grown a lot, but I'm almost at 4,000. And it would honestly It would honestly be so cool if I hit 4,000 like by my birthday, which is August 20th. So if you want to help me with that, subscribe down below. Also make sure to watch Madison's video and it's Keisha's videos on BBLs, because they both were really good videos. Like they make amazing videos, and you know I love supporting Black women on this platform. So subscribe to me, subscribe to them, watch their videos, comment down below your opinions on this. Do you think BBLs are a good thing? Do you think BBLs are a bad thing? Do you think plastic surgery is a good thing? Do you watch surgeries on Snapchat? Do you follow these Snapchat surgeons? What are your opinions on, you know, celebrity doctors in general? I want to know. I want to know the tea. So, yeah, I'm talking for too much. So, yeah, make sure to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.